Okay, so welcome back to the channel, and this is today's question, that is longest ordered volume sequence. I won't read this question, rather I would directly explain you what it basically needs. So the thing is, in the question they will be providing us with a particular sentence. For example, over here this is a sentence. A tailor has become a sailor after he has experienced a voyage with his captain friend. So this is the sentence which is given as input. Now what we have to do is we have to find those particular strings which are having maximum number of vowels in it, and moreover the occurrence of those vowels should be in the particular order. Like for example, see, these are the vowels which we usually have. So this is the order, right? For example, first we have A, then if we, for example, if we are going in an alphabetical order, then for vowels this is the order which we have: A, E, I, O, U. So similarly, if there is a string which they have provided us as an input, then we have to find a sentence. Okay, they will be providing us with a sentence, not the string. So in that we have to find a particular string. Not a particular string means we can have more than one strings. So we have to find those strings which are having maximum number of vowels, and the vowels should come in a particular order. Also, the means the order in which they should be coming. This is the order. Okay. So for example, look over here, Taylor. So first comes A, then we have I, and then only we have O. So this is a correct string because it is having three vowels, and moreover these vowels are coming in the appropriate order. Now come to this point, become. So first comes E, then O, but after O you should only have U. But the thing is, here it's written E. So it is not following the order which it has to follow. Okay, so I can't consider this string. So ultimately, after doing these two things, we will be getting strings as the output, Taylor and the sailor. Okay, from for this particular input we'll be getting two outputs, that is Taylor and sailor. And if we look at the input and output format, so what we have to do is the first line will be having a text message, okay, as an input, and the output format is like you have to print the longest unique vowel sequence, and if there is more than one sequence, then print each one in a new line in the order of their occurrence. Okay, so this is what the question is. Now let's just straight away move to the code which I will do. So see, here I am taking the input. String is equals to input dot strip dot split. Now you might be thinking, what is this dot strip dot split? Most of you might be knowing what is the function of dot split. Basically, dot split is an inbuilt function which will be, for example, see, this is the input. Okay, this is the input string which I'm having, and you can find these sentences are having words with a space in between them, right? See, these are the spaces. Okay, so this dot split function will take all these strings in a particular list with without any spaces. For example, look at this. See, after writing this much of code, I'll be getting this particular sentence will be converted into a list where each word is taken as input. See, here I don't have any space or whatever. Okay, and the function of dot split is that, for example, if it is starting, suppose I've given space, then I've started writing, or if in the end of my sentence I've given a space, and then I have ended my sentence, then the dot strip will basically remove these front and back spaces. Okay, so this is the function of dot strip and dot split. It's quite useful for competitive coding. Okay, so here I've taken the input, and this input will be converted into a list where each element will be a string, will be in a string format. Okay, without the spaces, without those unnecessary things we don't need. Okay, now see, what I've done is I've created a dictionary over here. I'll be telling you what's the use of this dictionary later. Now see, what I'm doing is, for I in string, what does this mean? See, now the string is basically a list. Okay, what I feel is like I should change this name first. That would be much better. User input. Okay, so now the name is user input. What is user input? User input is basically a list which is having a lot of strings in it. And what does this line mean? For I in string, that means the value of I will be A, then Taylor, then has, then become, then A, then sailor, and so on. Okay, now see, look over here. I've created a list over here, and then I'm writing over here is for j in I. What does this mean? It means that suppose the value of I is Taylor. Okay, value of I is Taylor for the first loop. Now for j in I means the value of j will be T, then A, then I, then L, then O, and then R. This is what it means for j in I. And then I'm checking if j is in it's basically a string, okay, strings of all those vowels in both upper and lower cases. So I'm checking each of the letter of this particular word, and I'm checking whether this particular letter is a vowel or not. And if it's a vowel, then I am appending that particular word in the list which I've in an empty list which I've created. See, this is a list L is equals to an empty list I've created over here. And if I'm finding out that if for this particular string, if it's any word is a vowel, any letter is a vowel, then I'll be appending it in the list. Okay. So if I consider this example, so see here I'm having A, I, and O. So these three vowels will get appended in this list L. Okay. After doing this much, what I'm doing is I'm sending it to a particular function which I've defined. See, check order. As you can see over here, check order is a function which I have defined over here, and it is taking vlist, a list, as an input. So that's what I've done over here. Check order is equals to L. Okay, so now let's come to this defined function which I've written over here. Check order. What is the function of this define check order? So the use of this function is that I'll be checking that the vowels which are present in this particular word are in the order or not. Like they should be in order like A, E, I, O, U. Okay, that's what they mentioned over here. This is the order in which they have to follow. Okay, so this is what I'll be checking over here. And how am I going to check this? So for that, I have created a dictionary whose name is vowels, and I have given particular keys to each value. Okay, for example, A is 5, E is 4, I is 3, O is 2, and U is 1. And I have set a boolean variable, that is flag, whose initial value is true. You will understand the purpose of this expression afterward. Okay, so now let's move on. For I in range length of vlist minus 1, what does this mean? It means that I'll be running a loop for the length of vlist minus 1. Okay, and then what I'm doing over here is I'm checking that if vowels vlist I. Okay, for example, suppose if in vlist I'm having A, B, sorry, I'll be having A, E, and then I. Okay, so if this is the vlist, so in this case I'm checking that the value of A which is present in this dictionary which I created is less than the value of E or not. That is what I'm checking. Okay, for example, what actually it means is, what I'm doing over here is like, if over here E was written and over here A was written, then what will happen is, see, it mainly symbolizes that the vowels which are present in this particular word are not in the order in which we need it, right? For that is, A should come first, then only E, and then I. But over here E is coming first, after E A is coming. So it means this word is not following the for example, okay, it says for example, it means this word is not following the format for which we are looking. Okay, so that is what we are doing over here. I'm checking, for example, see, this is the first element. So what is the value of E in this dictionary? The value of E is 4 over here, which is less than the value of 5. If in that case the value of flag which was true will be turned as false, and then I'll be applying break, because I don't need to look for the other part, because once this particular thing is not satisfying the condition, then we don't need to check for the other vowels. Okay, so I have applied break over here, and then I'm turning the value of flag. Okay, this is what is stored in this variable, flag is equals to, so in place of this I'll be getting true or false. Okay, now suppose if the value of flag is true, okay, if the value of flag is true, then what I'll be doing is, here I will be here, if the order is correct, then we are adding the count of unique vowels in the dictionary. Yeah, see, what I'm doing over here is, see, this is the list. Suppose, okay, let me write it correctly, A, and then I should have E, right? Okay, so this is the list for which I was checking the order, and since this list have satisfied the order, that is, the value of flag have not turned to false, it is still true. So now what's my work? I have to count number of unique vowels which are present in this list, right? Because these vowels are present in the order. Now my next work is to check that whether these vowels are present in the the next work will be that I have to check how many number of unique vowels are present in this particular list, right? So that is what I am doing over here. I am see, I have written over the length of set L. Okay, so L was basically the list. This is the list, L is list, and in this I have written over here set L. What does set L does? Set L will mainly convert this list into this format. Okay, so this is I'll be getting if I write this set L. So as you can see over here, this list is getting converted into this data structure where I'm just having the unique vowels. So this is the purpose of set function, and once this is done, then I'm counting the length of the set list, which is over here, it's 3, right? And then I'm adding that in the place of dictionary. Okay, for the particular key, I am just adding the value of length. For example, see, if suppose the word is Taylor, so for the Taylor we are having 3 vowels, A, I and O. A, I and O are in the particular order, okay, in the order which is mentioned, that is A, E, I, O, U, okay, so it is in this order only, hence this word is satisfying the condition. Now what I will be doing is I will be counting how many unique vowels are over here. So basically we have A, I, O, that means we are having 3 vowels. So the dictionary which I have created in this, for the key as Taylor, I'll be appending value as 3, because here I'm having 3 vowels. For example, this has is a key, and in has I'm having only 1 vowel, that's why 1 is written over here. Now look at Sailor. For Sailor I have A, I and O. 3 vowels are there, and these vowels are even following the order. Hence in the dictionary I have made a key of Sailor, and that too with a value of 3. Okay, now once this is done, like see, this is the final thing which I was in need of. Okay, I was in need of a dictionary which will be containing all those words from the given input which are satisfying both the conditions. The first condition was that the vowels should occur in the particular order, and moreover the second condition was that we have to print those words which are having maximum numbers of vowels in it. Okay, so this dictionary is mainly defining the first condition, because all these words which are over here are having their vowels in the order. Now we have to see, we have to print those words which are having maximum number of vowels. So as you can see over here, the word Taylor and Sailor are having the maximum number of vowels in it. Okay, so for printing these two words, this is the code which I have written over here. Max L is equals to max dictionary dot values. What this will do? This will basically give us with the maximum value of the dictionary. In this entire dictionary, the maximum value is 3. Okay, so this value will be getting stored in this variable. And then for I in dictionary, what I'm doing is I'll be checking for each key. Okay, each key, whether the dictionary is having that maximum value or not. For example, once I'll be checking for A is 3. A has a value as 1, whereas Taylor has a value of 3. Since Taylor is having a value of 3, so I'll be printing it over here. Okay, similarly for has, I'll be checking. Then for Sailor is also having the maximum value 3, and that will be printed over here. Okay, and so on. So this is the entire code. Okay, I'll be providing this in the description. You can just get this code over there also, and moreover I'll be providing the link for my Instagram channel. You can even follow me over there. Thank you.